stumbling into the furniture. Being creative, making their own decisions, holding a conversation, these are beyond their capabilities. Now, committed scientists are not giving up. And in fact, they've made a breakthrough in terms of teaching robots how to learn.
They say you have to walk before you can run. To scientists at Honda, building their humanoid robot Asimo felt more like crawling. They began in the 1980s with a pair of legs. Slowly, they added a torso, arms, then a head. But building the body was the least of it. Getting the parts to move in concert like a human took years. What comes naturally to us is in fact a complicated balancing act. So the creators of Asimo had to analyze the role of our feet, knees, and hips in maintaining balance. In the year 2000, after countless experiments, Asimo got to his feet. Today, he can walk up ramps, climb up and down stairs, and balance perfectly while performing 1,000 movements. But he's hit a wall. Asimo can only do what he's programmed to do.
Good morning.
How do you feel?
I'm feeling great. Thank you.
Let's shake hands.
Okay, let's shake hands.
Today's robots are programmed for a very specific situation or task. If the situation or environment changes or the context of reaction changes, then these robots are helpless.
Go where I am pointing.
I'm not sure where you're pointing.
Go where I am pointing.
Where shall I go? I know you. Pascal. Hello.
Hello. Go where I am pointing.
I'm not sure where you're pointing. Okay, let's shake hands.
What we need are adaptable robots. Robots that can learn through experience. So Asimo must be taught just like a child.
Apple. Okay, did you say apple?
Yes, this is correct.
Okay.
Researchers introduce new objects. Then they test him on what he's learned.
Rubber duck. Okay.
In human development, this process takes years. The Honda scientists have figured out how to do it in just days.
Unknown object.
Teddy bear.
Did you say teddy bear?
Yes, this is correct.
Okay. Please show something. Teddy bear.
Yes, this is correct.
Recently, the scientists had an even bigger breakthrough. They taught Asimo how to make choices. They want the robot to grab a green bottle. But they haven't programmed a specific way to take it. Instead, they've programmed 4 options and are leaving the decision up to him. Every 5 milliseconds, Asimo analyzes the situation and evaluates the options. Then, he picks the most efficient one. It's a milestone for robotic engineering. In the future, you'll depend on robots to cook and clean. They'll even assist surgeons on the operating table. Although advances may be slow, one day you'll wonder how you ever got along without them. Your PC may be assaulted by hackers as many as 50 times a night. Cyber criminals of the future will only get smarter. How are we going to stop them?
Sweetie, put Gramps on the phone.
What's wrong?
Have you looked out the window today?
Mom,
Look, Paul, sweetie, he's got to turn himself in. Now get him on the phone.
Mom, he left because of your argument.
Paul?
Mom, hello?
Paul! Everybody, listen up. We're initiating a citywide search. This is our man. His name is John Gator. My father. He's one of those old school hackers. He once did 8 years in prison for hacking into the medical insurer's database. He nearly wiped it out. Screen on. Screen on.
I have to hurry. I don't know how long the secure link will last. This virus is running on 50-year-old code. It has attacked the ancient base layer of the city's operating system. We've got our best people working on it, but I think we should prepare for the worst.
Screen off.
Since the first virus was introduced in 1983, now we're flooded with 60,000 of them. And in 50 years' time, perhaps a computer virus can paralyze an entire city, disrupting food, water, electricity, and transportation, and collapsing the economy. Now, there's always going to be criminals and malicious individuals, so we'll always have computer hackers. There's going to be a never-ending arms race to stop them.
At high-tech centers around the country, cybersecurity experts work around the clock to fight online attacks. It's not just viruses they have to deal with. One of the major threats today comes from hackers who break into home PCs and literally take them over. In just a few hours, a determined hacker can gain control of hundreds of thousands of personal computers. If your personal computer is connected to the internet, it can be assaulted up to 50 times a night by intruders attempting to gain control of it.
It's pretty easy to break into unprotected computer systems.
Dr. Andrew McPherson consults for the Department of Homeland Security.
Hackers would use a scanning tool to go onto the network and find computers that show their operating system, show that they're unprotected. And then they would choose appropriate attack tools to break into those computers. And then once they've done that, they would use those computers for any number of purposes.
A hacker could launch what's called a bot attack. He programs hundreds of thousands of hijacked computers to send a barrage of messages to one website simultaneously.
One example might be before a big game, he might go to a gambling website and shut them down by targeting that gambling website with all of his computers and flooding his gambling computers by requests from all these other computers in his botnet. Then he might try and they might try and extort money from that gambling website saying, hey, if you don't give us this money, we're not turning off this attack.
A bot attack can overload a website with 24 gigabytes of data per second. That amount of information is equal to all the books that could fit in the back of a pickup truck.
Clearly, unprotected computer networks can't withstand that type of botnet attack when hundreds or even hundreds of thousands of computers are steered against them.
Yet a bot attack is the cyber version of jaywalking compared to what may be coming.
The real threat that we see is from other nation states who could harness their understanding of the electronic infrastructure. For example, they might cut undersea cables where traffic was, put viruses into command and control systems, disrupt the infrastructure that supports our military. Any cyber threat group.
More than 20 nations are already developing computer attack programs. And every day, McPherson's team gathers new information on potential threats to America's cybersecurity.